Your home should push you forward, not pull you back. Most people think success is about what you add to your life, but real growth often begins with what you remove. If your home feels heavy, unmotivating, or mentally exhausting, you're not lazy. You're surrounded by the wrong energy, and it's coming from things you've let stay too long. The truth is, some objects in your home are silently holding you back. They carry old memories, distractions, and emotions that you never made peace with. They take up space you need for clarity, confidence, and progress. In this audiobook, you're going to learn exactly 5 things to eliminate from your home immediately. These aren't surface-level tips. These are deep, clear actions that will change how you think, feel, and show up every day. Your home affects your habits, and your habits shape your future. Clean out what's killing your drive, and you'll feel your power come back fast. This is how you start fresh for real. Chapter 1. Remove items that make you feel like a failure. You know, one of the most powerful changes you can make in your life starts right where you live, right in your own space. And it's not about buying something new. It's not about making your home look pretty. It's about removing what no longer belongs in your life. And there's something specific I want you to focus on first. Remove the items that make you feel like a failure. Because those items, those objects you see every day, they're not just things. They carry emotion. They carry memory. They whisper to you when no one else is around. They remind you of something you didn't finish, something you started but quit, something you tried but it didn't work out. And without saying a word, those things make you question yourself again. They weaken your confidence. They take up space in your home, but worse, they take up space in your mind. You have to understand how your environment is shaping your thoughts. Every day when you walk into your bedroom, your kitchen, your closet, everything you see is speaking to you. And the sad part is many people are living in homes full of quiet voices saying, "You failed." A dusty treadmill in the corner, a business book you never opened, a vision board that never came true, that dress you bought for a special day that never came. You don't just keep the object, you keep the emotion attached to it, and that weighs on you. And the longer you hold on to it, the more it becomes part of your identity. You start believing that you're someone who gives up, that you're someone who never finishes, that you're someone who doesn't follow through. But that's not who you are. That's just what those things are telling you. And it's time to shut those voices down. Not with words, with action. You need to take inventory of your space. Go room by room, open the drawers, look at the corners you haven't touched in months, look at your shelves, your closet. Ask yourself, what in here is making me feel worse about myself? Be honest, be quiet, take a breath, and listen to your body. You'll know it. The second you see that item, you'll feel something. You'll feel that little dip in energy, that discomfort in your chest, that sudden reminder of something you'd rather forget. That's the signal. That's the item that's keeping you trapped. Now, I want to be clear, this is not about shame. This is about freedom. Removing something that reminds you of failure is not quitting. It's not denying your past. It's about giving yourself a fresh start. It's about telling yourself, that moment doesn't define me. That outcome doesn't belong in my present. That version of me no longer lives here. And once you remove it, you don't just get more space on the shelf. You get more space in your head. You feel lighter. You breathe easier. You stop reliving the story that hurt you. Some people say, what if I need it again? Well, ask yourself, do you need it? Or do you need the lesson it gave you? Most people don't need the item. They just haven't accepted the fact that it's time to move forward. Holding on to a failure doesn't help you learn. It just keeps you living in it. Real learning comes when you acknowledge it, grow from it, and release it. You don't need reminders of who you were when things went wrong. You need reminders of who you're becoming now. Now think about this. What would it feel like to walk into your space and feel nothing but clarity? What would it feel like to open your closet and not feel regret? To see your bookshelf and feel inspired? To sit in your room and feel peace and not pressure? That's what happens when you eliminate the emotional clutter. You give your brain a break from the constant background noise. And that break, it gives you the energy to focus on the things that matter now. It helps you build confidence, not because you're pretending things never went wrong, but because you're no longer holding yourself prisoner to them. You see, your physical space is often a reflection of your internal state. When your home is full of guilt, disappointment, and self-doubt, you carry that energy with you into everything, into your work, your conversations, your choices, and you start wondering why you feel stuck, why you can't move forward. But the answer is all around you, and the good news is you can fix it. Today, not next week, not next year, right now. Start small. Pick one corner, one drawer, one shelf. Don't wait until you feel ready. You might never feel ready, but the act of doing is what creates the feeling of strength. Pick up that object. Hold it in your hands. Ask yourself, is this helping me feel better about myself? And if the answer is no, put it down. Let it go. You don't need to keep something just because you spent money on it. That money is already gone. But what's still here is your peace, and that's worth more than anything you can store in a box. And some of the things you'll get rid of, they'll be hard to part with. Maybe it's something that once gave you hope. Maybe it's something you told yourself you'd use one day. Maybe it's a reminder of someone who hurt you, or a version of yourself you're still trying to forgive. And I understand that. But keeping it won't make it right. Keeping it won't bring healing. Healing comes when you make the choice to stop carrying the weight, stop surrounding yourself with reminders of what didn't work. And when you do this, when you start clearing out those items, something changes in you. Your space starts to feel alive again. You walk into your room and it doesn't talk back. It doesn't pull you down. It lifts you up, because now every item in your space serves a purpose. Every item supports your growth. Every item reflects the person you are becoming, not the person you were struggling to stop being. You become a person. Find stability in an unstable world, not the person you were struggling to stop being. You deserve a space that makes you feel proud, a home that doesn't just look nice but feels right, a place where you can think clearly, sleep peacefully, work with focus, move with confidence. You deserve a space that works for your future, not one that keeps you stuck in your past. And the first step to building that space is this: remove the items that make you feel like a failure. You may think it's just stuff, but it's never just stuff. It's a silent influence, a daily message. And when that message says, you didn't finish, you didn't make it, you're not enough, you need to stop listening. You need to answer back with action, not anger, not denial, but quiet, intentional removal. You need to say, this no longer belongs here, and I don't need to hold onto it anymore. Because the moment you remove those items, you're telling yourself a new story. You're saying, I'm moving forward now. I'm not who I used to be. I'm not my past mistake. I'm not defined by what didn't work. I'm ready for something new. I'm building a space that reflects who I am now and who I'm working to become. And that's how change begins, not with big speeches, not with big plans, but with small, honest steps. One drawer at a time, one object at a time, one decision at a time. Remove what makes you feel like a failure, and you'll start living like someone who's finally free. Chapter 2. Throw away things you keep out of fear. Most people don't realize how much fear is sitting in their home. Not fear in the form of danger or panic, but fear hiding in the quiet decisions they've made to hold on to things they should have let go of a long time ago. You don't see it as fear because it's buried in habits and excuses, but it's there, sitting on your shelves, hiding in your drawers, hanging in your closet. Every item you keep just in case is often a sign that fear has convinced you to stay stuck. You've got clothes you haven't worn in years, but you're afraid to give them away because what if you lose weight? What if you gain weight again? What if you suddenly need it for an event you don't even have planned? That's fear speaking. Not planning, not preparation, just fear. You've got paperwork from jobs you left long ago, but you're afraid to toss them because what if you need them someday? That's fear. You've got old gifts you didn't like, things you never used, objects that serve no real value to your life, but you're scared of what people might think if they found out you gave them away. That too is fear. Fear loves to hide in the background. It doesn't yell, it whispers. It tells you to hold on to things because you might regret letting them go. It tells you that letting go is risky, that you're safer keeping things close, that you're being responsible. But here's what fear doesn't tell you. Holding on to those things is costing you peace. It's draining your space, your clarity, your energy. It's keeping you mentally and emotionally tied to a version of your life that you no longer want to live. You've got to be honest about what you're really keeping and why. Are you keeping that box of old electronics because you'll fix them one day, or because you're afraid to admit they're already useless? Are you holding on to old letters because they hold meaning, or because you're afraid to move on? Are you keeping those clothes because they reflect your current life, or because you're afraid of change? These are the questions that open the door to growth. When you make decisions based on fear, you shrink your world. You build a life around avoiding pain instead of chasing possibility. And when your home becomes a place where fear dictates what stays, it slowly becomes a place that keeps you from growing. Fear of scarcity, fear of judgment, fear of change, fear of regret.